I'm very happy to be in front of you under these circumstances. Jaycee Dugard was found alive in Antioch. Excuse me. She was found alive in Antioch. Just to remind you just a little bit, she was kidnapped in June of 1991. She was taken off the street in front of her house. As you all know, there was nothing then, nor is there anything now to indicate that this was anything other than a stranger abduction of an 11-year-old. On August 25th, Tuesday, the UC Berkeley police encountered a suspect, Philip Garrido, seeking access to the UC Berkeley campus. This alert Berkeley police officer took notice of Philip Garrido and two young women who were in his custody. Police officers looked into Garrido's background and found that he was on federal parole overseen by the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. Garrido was convicted of crimes in 1971 involving rape and kidnapping. UC police contacted state parole, which resulted in Garrido having a follow-up visit at the state parole office. Garrido brought along with him two minors, as well as Nancy Garrido and a female named Alyssa. A-L-L-I-S-S-A. The parole agent had never seen these individuals, Alyssa and the two young children, during his visits at the house, and thought that the females in Garrido's company were suspicious and contacted the Concord Police Department. Ultimately, the female named Alyssa was identified as Jaycee Dugard. Subsequent interviews with Jaycee and the Garridos provided information that only the victim and the kidnappers could know. DNA confirmation is being sought to confirm Jaycee's identity. The Garridos, Nancy and the male, were taken into custody and an investigation led to their residence in Antioch. The two minor children turned out to be children of Jaycee and the male suspect Garrido. They, along with Nancy Garrido, were living together at the residence in Antioch since the original kidnapping. A search of the residence revealed a hidden backyard within a backyard. The hidden backyard had sheds, tents, and outbuildings where Jaycee and the girls spent most of their lives. There was a vehicle hidden in the backyard that matched the vehicle originally described at the time of the abduction. The tents and outbuildings in the backyard were placed in a strategic arrangement to inhibit outside viewing and to isolate the victims from outside contact. Family reunification has begun and will be a long and ongoing process. The victim witness from El Dorado County DA's office, the FBI, as well as the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children are involved in that process. Both suspects are now currently in custody in the El Dorado County Jail. Photos of both suspects are on our website, and we would welcome any additional information linking them to this or any other criminal activity. Please feel free to call 530-642-4747 with any additional information. Nancy was with Philip at the original kidnapping. She was a female identified in the car. She matches that description. The parole agent, that's why he became suspicious. In his visits to the house, he had never seen Jaycee nor either one of the two children. As unusual as that may sound, having been there, it's very, very conceivable. The way the house is set up, the way the backyard is set up, you could walk through the backyard, walk through the house, and never know that there was another set of living circumstances in that backyard. At the end of the backyard, there's a large fence, a 6-foot fence. Tall trees all along that fence. A dishwasher, garbage cans, other things backed up against that fence. Through a tarp that hangs over the fence, you have to pull the tarp aside and walk through. There's nothing unusual that would cause you to question that. You can't see over the fence. With the shrubbery and the trees, you can't see the structures. The structures are no more than 6 foot high. They're not big, big, massive structures. One of them was maybe 10 by 10, about 6 foot high. The other one was very much the same, and two smaller tents. And you can't see it from either adjoining property. It's a very unusual set of circumstances, presumably well arranged. All I know is right now there are no known attempts by her to outreach to anybody. My understanding is they went directly to that property from the kidnapping. Jaycee has been there ever since, and the children were born there and lived there. They were born there. They were in relatively good physical condition. They weren't obviously abused. They weren't malnourished. No obvious indicators. All of the sheds and the tents had electricity furnished by electrical cords. Nothing more sophisticated than that. There was a rudimentary outhouse and a rudimentary shower, as if you were camping. He was arrested at the parole office. She's at a motel somewhere in the Concord, Antioch area. I don't know where.